All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the. Oh, hold on. Yes, welcome to the Cut the Chase Sports Podcast. Had to make sure everything was going right here. My God, dude, a lot of editing off of this, but actually, whatever, dude. This is the first time doing the live stream. A lot of botch stuff, but hey, we're back. Welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. I am your host, Chase Yantz. We're back, different form. Here's my co-host, Brady King. Brady, how are we doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's good to see you and all that stuff, man. It really
For
is.
sure. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
And I'm just glad to be back in my home for the night, back in Springfield. If you guys didn't know, me and Brady actually until the after dinner special, which wasn't really much of an episode, just like a bonus feature, we haven't recorded an episode in person. Still only that one, but you know how things work out and stuff. It's going to be tough to do it in the upcoming months, but we will.
For sure.
I was able to make accommodations to come home since I'm only an hour away from college. I go to Earlham College now.
Yeah.
Jake's at Bluffton. I kind of botched that right there. And with you guys being able to look at us, you guys can see we have a third member of our crew, a new member of our crew that we announced about a week ago. Let's say hello to Jake Shaver, who's in Bluffton, Ohio right now, Bluffton University. Jake, what's up?
Yeah, nothing much. Chase is doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I'm so excited to be back here and get this show on the road right now. We have a lot of talent in this. We got three people who know a lot about sports and love a lot about sports. But speaking of talent, I'm just gonna bump right into this. The Patriots thought Mac Jones had more talent than Cam Newton. What a segue right there. As they released the 11-year veteran and named this year's 15th overall pick their starter against the Dolphins. Brady, I'm going to start here with you. There are two dimensions to this, starting Mac and releasing Cam. But for all Pats fans, is this the right call to throw Mac out there right now?
I definitely think at this point that he's a better quarterback than Cam Newton, but I might not want to throw him in there week one of his rookie year because I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that goes very well in most circumstances. Most day one starters aren't as good as the ones that wait a little bit. But you never know. I mean, maybe it's a good thing because obviously he knows – Bill Belichick knows what he's doing. So I'm going to trust Bill Belichick. I'm going to say, yeah, it was the right thing to do.
I can see how, it could help Mac Jones also gaining confidence and stuff, knowing that, Bill Belichick has trust in him now. They released Cam Newton. Maybe that was a little iffy just from the fact that, this is Cam Newton, 11-year veteran. He's been to a Super Bowl before, won multiple playoff games and all. But I'm going to toss it over to Jake. Was the release of Cam Newton pretty harsh, or should we have seen this coming?
I mean, you look back at last year's stats, and it kind of says it for itself that maybe that was the right decision. I'm going to go with Brady on that. I mean, with only a 65% completion rate and having thrown more interceptions and touchdowns, I mean, you can't really keep a guy like that around. And I feel personally, doesn't fit their play scheme that they've developed over the Brady era, moving now on to, which I think kind of a similar player to Mac Jones. We all see what he did at Alabama as he just dominated last year.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. And honestly, let me just throw something in there. A lot of people were saying, well, I mean, he's got the best receivers, but who knows? Maybe he was the best quarterback in college football. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, you never know. You still got to make those plays.
For sure. It's tough to tell. I don't know.
It really is. I mean, you got the amount of immense talent there was in college football last year, but you also have to look, the guy that was able to win the most games and not have a blemish on his record last year won the national title. Mac Jones, man, 41 touchdowns to, I believe, 4 interceptions last year.
Right.
I heard on Get Up and First Take how they were trying to compare him to as the greatest college season in history, but if it wasn't for a guy named Joe Burrow the year before, I would say it was pretty darn good, but I don't think
it was good. Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, but it was nowhere near that Burrow season.
That's true. Yeah. And I mean, he had a Heisman winning receiver in Devontae Smith, and then and Jalen Waddle, when when Jalen Waddle was healthy, he was arguably as good as Devontae Smith from what
Really.
multiple sources. I know, Brady, you also believe that as well. I think we said that on an episode
We've said that,
last season. Yeah,
You
definitely.
also got to remember that they got one of the best backs in the college football last year, Najee Harris. I mean, that dude was just a tank running the ball. So it's easy to hit those slant routes that they did. They destroyed Ohio State on slants. They sent Devontae Smith against linebackers because they were just scared of Najee Harris running right up the gut.
Yeah,
Not to mention the best offensive line in college football. Also,
Oh, by far. By far.
It's just crazy.
They're just on a different level.
They were.
I mean, we're definitely able to see that Mac Jones had, one of the best, obviously the best team in college football last year.
Yeah.
Depending, they won the national title. But, the way that I see it in New England right now, obviously he's stepping into a different situation. He's got, a group of backs. He doesn't have a workhorse like Najee Harris. He's got Damian Harris, sharing the last name. Damian Harris, James White. He's got a couple of guys with multiple facets to their game. No real big name receivers, though. I will say I think Nelson Aguilar and I think Jacoby Myers, they're gonna be pretty good on the outside for him. I saw Myers really stepped up in the preseason, had a nice touchdown against the Giants last week. Actually, I think those Giants and it was against the Eagles last 2 weeks ago. But
yeah,
I do think Mac Jones is going to be fine there. I do believe, though, them cutting Cam Newton, I feel as though this might have been a decision that he made himself, though. If Cam Newton, I feel as though I don't think he wants to just sit there and be a backup. All right. No. I think that he felt as though that, he lost the job. So I kind of feel as though he said, I win the job or I'm out. I feel as though he could have had some say in that. But I think the Patriots, they have a lot to look forward to. The fan base has a lot to look forward to. I know there's been some comparisons as this is the next Tom Brady and all that. Cam Newton is now obviously considered a bridge quarterback, only a 1 year stint and everything. But like Jake was saying, Cam Newton wasn't fitting that scheme that the Patriots had ran for the last 20 years. Nowhere near close. The Patriots actually ran a spread offense with Tom Brady. Thinking about it, with a and Evan's got the music up, but with Tom Brady running the spread offense and not being as athletic, but he was able to spread the defense out and make plays, and I think that's where Mac Jones is going to do very well. Having a spread, he's got very good touch and being able to spread people out and make plays in open space and operate like that. I think that's where they're going to really accelerate this offense. And I think the Patriots are going to have a good shot at being a wild card because I don't think they're going to take down Buffalo. Buffalo is moving pretty fast ahead of the curve. And Miami, there could be some good battles there, Patriots and the Dolphins. And that also is your week 1 matchup with Tua versus Mac. So should be a very good matchup. 4:25 on CBS. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Man, we are super close to the NFL. We definitely had to make this discussion right off the bat, but we're gonna roll into some headliners for the week that we saw this past weekend. I'm gonna start here with Jake. I know that you're very, very disappointed. You're very, very disappointed about what happened to one of your fantasy running backs on Saturday.
Yeah, not just one. So the news I'm going to bring up today is how I lost my 3rd round pick in J.K. Dobbins. I mean, I was rocking with the Ohio State guy. He had a solid rookie season last year. Sadly, in a preseason game, ended up tearing his ACL. So, I mean, you're going to pray for recovery the best you can do to get back to where he was. But, yeah, it just sucks. Seeing guys young like that get drastic injuries like that is never a good thing over a game that really didn't mean anything in the long run.
Exactly.
No doubt.
You think about, how the difference with Lamar Jackson running the football, having J.K. Dobbins in the backfield was just going to make it, adding that second dimension, but not even to mention, I mean, a torn ACL. That's such a tough that's a tough injury in general. You've seen people come back from it, but just after having a good rookie season and just injuring it in a game like this, just prayers up for him, really. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's just so unfortunate blow last preseason game. And that's also something that coaches, they could second guess themselves, like, oh, why did I put my guy out there like that? Like anything could happen and stuff. But it's just unfortunate. It's part of the game, but really prayers up to J.K. Dobbins. I think he was actually was he your second round or third round pick?
He was my. Oh, let me look quick.
I think the board says second round over here.
I think he was second round pick.
That's yeah. I mean, makes it, I can't say make it worse because it's already as bad as it is. That's unfortunate. It really is. Prayers up to J.K. Dobbins. Brady had a little encounter with a former Ohio State player himself. I'll let him tell you about that.
All right. So this weekend, so you guys may know, any Ohio State fans probably do know that we lost the starting wide receiver last year to the transfer portal, Jamison Williams. He transferred to Alabama. He started an Instagram live video on Sunday. I hopped on, check it out, and he added me to the live for I don't know why. It was surprising, and I kind of I don't know. I talked to him. I asked him why he transferred, but he just basically said I don't know the whole situation, and that there was stuff behind the scenes, but I really think that's just his way of saying he got beat out and didn't like it.
That Ohio State receiving core, man, that's such a talented room. I mean,
for sure.
Having him in there, it's more, it's obviously it's more depth and talent, but I don't blame him for going on to a new adventure to Alabama. I don't blame him for that, but the way that he's carrying himself about it,
I don't really like the way he's acting.
Oh, I can tell. We've talked about this behind the scenes and in many forms of it. I mean, we'll see how it goes with him. Him and John Mechie in Alabama, Bryce Young at quarterback. Ohio State's room is going to be pretty stacked. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. With the game tomorrow, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to see. The first edition of Ohio State football in 2021. So when it comes to what I saw this past weekend, I would say, you guys would think I'd say, Joe Burrow. Seeing Joe Burrow play, 3 snaps, and how we ran the ball with Joe Mixon twice, and how we hit a quick screen to Jamar Chase, who has a case of the dropsies right now. Just seeing Joe Burrow out there was relieving. It was relieving to most to him, and then to all of us, all Bengals fans, and I think most of the league as well, just in all of the league, just to see him back out there after such a gruesome injury. But I'm not going to take that route. I kind of did, but I'm not going to take that route. I'm just going to talk about how in the hell did I turn it to the BMW Championship at the perfect time on the playoff holes. What was it? The Cantlay versus DeChambeau in this sense.
Wow.
He's got some big arms, dude. He can whack that.
He's a big guy. He's put on over 100 pounds last year and a half during COVID.
God, dude, he can hack that thing, man. Really,
revolutioning the game.
Mm-hmm. Just seeing some of the stuff he was able to do. And then Cantlay, he was able to weather the storm and everything in that playoff, because I do think people thought that DeChambeau was going to win just because of the power and everything, because that that first shot, that drive can do a lot of things for you. But for him to miss that shorter putt and Cantlay to actually capitalize beforehand to take the longer putt and win that, I'm not a big golf guy, but especially right before football season's on and it's like a 6:30, 7 o'clock on a Sunday in August, I'm going to watch whatever, and I'm just very glad that the TV gods told me to watch this right after the game. And thank you, TV gods up top. But yeah, we're going to roll into some quick hitters right now. Right before we get into Brady and Jake's quick hitters, a night before, we saw high school football at nowhere near its finest. In the great state of Ohio as well. Everyone knows this story right now. Bishop Sycamore. 58-0 against IMG Academy in Canton,
Which it could have been worse.
Ohio. It very well could have been worse. That's amazing. I have no idea how. And it was on ESPN. It was on ESPN, right? Is that
Sunday?
That's
Sunday night game.
That's unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. And this team is apparently an online school, not even a part of the OHSAA. And didn't they say they belong to some conference in another state or something like that?
Something about Pennsylvania or something.
Yeah, something weird. Like this, just the whole story itself just doesn't seem. And then you have the quarterback who's on 3 different sites and all that, like on 24/7 Sports, on Rivals, whatever. He's classified for 3 different years as well. One of the receivers actually had some Division I offers, but he was supposed to graduate this past year. TikTok's been blowing me up with all that stuff on, a lot of people as well on the For You page and everything. But my gosh,
from being around the area, since I'm from around Ashland, Ohio, I can confidently say I've never heard of that school before. I know a lot of the Canton schools, and I've never heard of that before.
They said they were based out of Columbus.
On the ESPN thing, it said out of Canton. They played in the Pro Bowl. That's what it says on their website. Their website is based out of Columbus. But on the ESPN thing, it said out of Canton because they played at the Pro Football Hall of Fame field up in Canton, Ohio.
Yes, Jake is a Northern Ohio expert. That's what in the world, man. Brady, what do you think of this, your high school quarterback?
It's crazy. I can't even put it into words. ESPN can literally that's pathetic from ESPN. That's what I take from this is that ESPN can be a joke sometimes. That's all I can say.
Yeah, they took that joke and they ran with it and filmed a 58-0 blowout right there And how would you feel? How would you feel if you got sacked by a 30-year-old man right now? What? I mean, come on, in a high school football game.
No, yeah, it's
that's just I don't.
Crazy.
Oh, definitely for sure. Chase.
Chase, looks like you're frozen.
Chase is frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
I have time to check my phone now.
Everyone good? Technical difficulties, man. I tell you, this is the first time we're doing the show and everything, so it is what it is. Brady screen's a little up. There we go. But we're gonna pass it over to Brady right now. Little quick hit right now. What did you see?
You froze again. I'm looking away.
Gotta cut that out. Cut it. Who you guys got this week, Brady? While we wait for Chase to come back.
What did you say? Sorry.
Who you guys got this week?
Oh, we played Ben Logan on Friday.
Are they good?
They're pretty good this year. Their quarterback leads the CBC in passing by 300 yards.
Oh, jeez. In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks.
Whose quarterback is this?
Ben Logan.
Wow, that's gonna be a game. You guys play.
They throw every play.
Man, I bet. Jeez.
The athletic receivers go get the ball.
Yeah, they throw a lot of screens and just go balls. There's not really any in between.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Man, but the technical difficulties really, really suck right now. But they do. They really do.
We'll get through it.
But we're all good. We're talking, Ben Logan KR, which is on Friday, September 3rd. Go watch Brady play, dude. Go watch him play. Battle with the big arm quarterback of Ben Logan, if anyone's watching. But yeah, so I heard the Colts got COVID. I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the main story about that is quarterback Carson Wentz getting COVID. So again, the dude can't catch a break in anything. And it's crazy. But they Jacob Eason, Sam Ellinger still going at it. And neither of them caught it, did they?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't believe
Okay.
so.
Yeah, but isn't that like a pretty heated race?
Yeah, they've both been kind of balling lately, but I don't know like the whole situation on when Carson Wentz will be back and everything, because I believe he was back at practice like not too long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I remember in one of the preseason games, Eason and Ellinger had some pretty similar numbers, and they were both playing pretty well against the Panthers. But for the backup position, I'm pretty sure it's been a pretty good battle.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. For sure.
But
Is that
and then
the second thing he's done this preseason now? Didn't he like hurt his foot or something like that earlier in the year?
Yep. He's supposed to be out for 5 to 12 weeks. Him and Quentin Nelson actually had the same injury, which is a little odd, but you know, this is 2021, man. Anything can happen, you know. But yeah, they both had the same injury and everything. Like you think about the best interior offensive lineman, and then your quarterback that you traded for having the same injury and potentially missing time. That's a major setback on top of a major setback. So the Colts are going to have a lot of battling back to do before Week 1 hits them right in the face when they play the Seattle Seahawks. Jake, I'm gonna pass it over to you right now. The Lakers adding a little bit of depth at the point guard position, even though they made a trade for Russell Westbrook. Get a little bit on that.
All right. So if you haven't heard the news, the Lakers picked up Rajon Rondo back onto the roster after his little stint in the Clippers last year.
Yes.
After his championship season with the Lakers. So if you're looking at their depth chart right now, they are one thing they couldn't have last year is that they weren't deep at all. I mean, they were like two guys deep, and AD and LeBron. And when AD went down in the playoffs, I mean, it was pretty much game over for the Lakers. There was nothing else they could really do to stop it. So them making a blockbuster trade to add Russell Westbrook, he's a great player. I don't know how he'll fit into the scheme of things because they're kind of lacking shooting, I believe, right now. And then you also got guys like Kendrick Nunn they added, which he had a stellar rookie year 2 years ago. Picking up Carmelo Anthony, who I still think is a starter in this league after last season. Malik Monk, a solid guy off the bench. Adding Trevor Ariza to have a little bit of grit and grind to the team. And also the pickup of Mac McClung, which I think he could turn into a really good three-way scorer or three-level scorer.
For sure. I agree with that.
I mean, you don't break Allen Iverson's scoring record by just being able to do one thing. I mean, he could do everything.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that he needs to improve on is his defense. But besides that, I mean, ceiling, there's no roof for him going upwards just by his pure athleticism and offensive ability to score the basketball.
Definitely. Sure. The Lakers, yeah, they definitely went out there and they got after it in free agency, trying to get a different look, you know, as a team and everything. Veteranship and experience was the one thing I believe that everyone was able to see. That's what they went after, man. You know, you talked about it, Carmelo, Russ Westbrook, LeBron already on the roster, you know, picking up guys that, you know, could get their shot and, you know, signing Mac McClung and then, you know, Malik Monk and all those guys. They're all going to piece in pretty well. Shooting, you know, the 3-point line might be one of their biggest kryptonites, but if they're, you know, if someone's able to get hot or if they're able to make a trade for a shooter here pretty, you know, like later in the season, I think they've got a pretty good shot of trying to compete and everything.
You can never count LeBron James out of playoff basketball.
Never do it. Never do it.
If you get him one shooter, like the Cavs, Kyle Korver back in 2018, that team had no shot going to the finals.
Yep. And I'll say as a Warriors fan in 2016, wouldn't do it. Would not doubt that, man.
Oh, I got something for you, Chase.
All right, let's see it. I've already seen everything.
Oh, yeah, he's probably a big Cavs fan.
Oh, yes. Is it the jersey? Is it a flag? Is it a hat? What could it be? I mean, I rock with it. I mean, I rock with the jersey. I mean, I'm not going to hate on it. Not going to hate on it.
2018 vibes. I'm just put this on, Chase, just to
I got you. I mean, I would go upstairs and
Just
get
for
my
you.
Joe Burrow jersey, but that wouldn't really affect you at all.
No, not at all.
Oh, it will. It definitely will here soon.
It will. All right, we'll see.
It will. Yeah, we'll remember this video right here.
Baker we trust.
I might look like an idiot, but not really. I don't think I'm an idiot, but
it's not. Hey, it's not that I don't have faith in Joe Burrow. It's I don't have faith in the Bengals offensive line to keep them protected.
Well, I have a little more faith in the offensive line this year. I have a little more faith in our offensive line than I do the Steelers' offensive line this year. I don't know
by far.
But yeah, I have a little more faith right now. But it's not just trying to beat one team. We're trying to, everyone's trying to beat each other. So we'll talk about all that stuff next week with our teams like that. I'm getting a little excited for it. But yeah, now it's time to shift into the fantasy focus presented by we don't have a sponsor, but we're gonna get one soon. But time to look at our Cougars 2021 fantasy football draft. It's the 4th year we've done this league. Jake, Brady are actually newcomers into the league. 14-team league. Never expected to be doing that, but we had to get some very good sports-minded and football guys into this league for the long run. We drafted 11 days ago on Saturday night. Everyone was dripped out. You weren't, Brady. I don't care, but lame. But yeah.
It was my own deal.
I see. Taken after Michael and his stupid decisions on draft night. But yeah.
One of the worst picks
everybody
I've
dressed
ever
up.
seen.
I'm going to go ahead and...
He was there. Michael's like, no, I don't trust it. I don't trust you, Jake.
Terrible pick. Oh, there goes Chase again.
Oh, man.
I'll bring that back up once he gets back.
Might as well, yeah.
Wonder how Chase feels about big 216.
Oh, yeah. Bro,
for sure.
I wonder how many times this is going to happen.
Or he's going to freeze out.
Yeah, hopefully he's back in within the next minute or so.
Yeah.
Is he frozen with you the same way as he's?
Yeah, like with his mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Where'd he go?
I'm here.
There he is.
Oh, he's back. There he is.
Dude, I'm cutting out in and out all the time. I have so many things plugged up. I'm actually
I need to read this real quick. I just got an email from my ministry assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great first week of class. I'm Olivia Allinger. I'm a missionary assistant for all of Hershey. I'm here for you if you ever need to talk, advice, or anything. Don't hesitate to reach out. This is reach it. My phone number, then her phone number, her room. I love to get to know you on our floor and Bible studies and stuff like that. Where's the part I was reading? Oh
boy.
Where is this at? I swear and then she sent another email saying, sorry, I forgot. I have candy in my room, so if you ever want some, just knock. I'm like, that kind of sus. A little bit.
Oh, I remember the Uncle J-Rod. That was a long, long time ago.
Crazy.
That brought back some.
Sign the Title IX, bro. Get him out of here.
Title IX, bro.
Get him out of here.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Well, before I cut out, I was gonna read my fantasy team, but I'm gonna predict that I'll cut out 3 more minutes. So I'm gonna move up here in a minute. While I hand it over to you guys in a minute. But my team right now consists of Tom Brady at quarterback, who I actually do feel confident in. Not really known as a project fantasy quarterback that you would want to get, people like Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, obviously, Kyler Murray, guys like that who kind of spice things up on the field and able to get tons and tons of points. But I do feel confident Tom Brady will get the job done for me this season. He had pretty good stats last year, 40 touchdowns, 12 picks, over 4,600 yards. A lot of that stuff picked up during fantasy playoff time last year. I bet you he won a couple people their leagues last year, right at the right time. Got hot at
him
the
and
right
Alvin Kamara,
time.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. And thank you, Alvin Kamara, having that Christmas present. But
Yes,
6 touchdowns, which is fascinating for those guys. And, I think I played against Alvin Kamara on Christmas last year in a consolation. Thanks a lot, Justin. But yeah.
I was rocking with Lockett last year when he had those
Week
3
7
touchdowns.
Lockett.
I had Lockett and Wilson against it. I was playing against Tyler and Kenyon Drake, so
that's a
I
different.
ended up
That's a
winning,
different
but
breed
it was
Lockett.
close. It was a
Man.
fun game to watch by far.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, other than like that game and then Browns Ravens later in the year, those are probably the 2 best. Those are the 2 best games of
for sure.
Or
you could even throw the Bills and Cardinals game into it.
Yes, you could. That
game
Hail. Oh yeah. So I mean, like the
That's
Cardinals.
something we need to go over next week, Chase.
Oh, we will.
We think game of the week's going to be this coming year.
Yep. I mean, CBS and Fox have those schedules out, but there are definitely some underlying 1:00 games that are going to be very, very good and very good classics and all that. And some Sunday night football games we'll get into, man. There's so many though, I'll get into my whole Sunday night football streak next week. But yes, looking at the running backs
Sorry about
team. No, you're all good. I just go so into it, and I kind of just want to save that for next week,
No. I get what you're saying.
Totally. I just, I get so caught up in all that stuff. But
for sure.
But running back, Aaron Jones, I think I had him in 1 league last year, 1 of 4. Liked him a lot. Had to get him with my first pick, just because the fantasy football gods told me to in that set of mind. Josh Jacobs, he'll be sharing a backfield with Kenyon Drake. Should be interesting, but if he's a decent number 2, that's all right. Yes, Evan.
I really wanted Josh Jacobs, and you snagged him right in front of me, dude. I was so upset about that. I really wanted Josh Jacobs.
Who'd you get instead of him?
Let me take a look. I gotta open my NFL fantasy.
If you guys didn't know, Evan's just chilling in the dorm with my other AirPod right now.
I lucked out, and I feel like I got a solid pick. I got James Robinson.
That's solid.
Who I feel is solid.
Especially with the injury of Etney, or however you say his last name.
Yeah. That really, ET, I think it's ET, but yeah, like that. So that pick's
Michael Sieverts typing.
Michael Sieverts typing.
Michael Sieverts. He's coming up. He's coming up to the studio right now.
Oh, boy. Brady's cousin.
I'll give you a little rundown of my team, Chase.
Let's go.
That's fine. Let's do it.
Special
guest
entry.
You got it.
Evan.
So,
yes. Here we go.
My quarterback position, I had Ryan Tannehill, who I feel could be a solid quarterback, but nothing amazing. He's out with COVID, unfortunately, so I have Jameis Winston, who I feel has a lot of upside.
Yeah, that could be a solid.
I picked him up on the waivers, like he could be good.
You got a lot of time before, like 11 days until Ryan Tannehill, like he could get back in time before. But I feel you.
And then my RB1 is Nick Chubb with RB2 James Robinson. So I got decent backs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With wide receivers, Robert Woods, Tyler Lockett, and Odell Beckham.
Okay. A little
So I
balance
got a
right
decent
there.
wide receiver core.
Yeah.
My tight end, Jonnu Smith, I feel like he slept on. If you look at his last year's stats, he actually didn't. He had some games where he performed really well. Look, a 13-point game, a 24-point game, a 21-point game, an 11-point game, a 12-point game, a 10-point game, a 12-point game.
You're throwing those 1 and 2-point games out right now.
Okay, they're there, but
that's the toughest thing. Tight end is like the toughest position for consistency, other than Kittle,
Travis
Kelsey, and everything.
Yeah.
Jonnu has a lot of upside.
Like there's like 2 or 3 tight ends that'll consistently put up numbers, but it's like those guys can put some real boom or bust numbers, is what it is. It's like a big spike.
It can make or break a week.
Oh yeah, it really can. It really can. Having a good tight end production week is just vital in the fantasy football.
And
who's your kicker and defense?
My kicker, oh gosh,
and I froze again.
No, you didn't.
Daniel.
There you go.
Daniel Carlson.
Yep, never mind. You did.
Yeah, Chase is gone.
Well, when he's back, I'll let him know.
What up, Mike? Chase is frozen.
Keep freezing, man.
All right, you're good,
what
Chase.
In the world, am I good? Am I good?
My
kicker is Daniel Carlson.
Okay.
For the Raiders.
Oh, it's not bad. Michael is on the podcast. What's up?
Hi.
Shoot. I'll be right back. I'm walking upstairs. This is not what I expected. One bit.
You gotta take the whole setup with them.
Yes, you guys are looking at. Yeah.
People watching like live.
Yes, people are watching live. Yes, people are.
Oh, we
watching.
do
people
got.
are on?
Yeah, how many people?
We got like 3 people on live.
Hey,
now.
that's still.
You guys can't see me. Keep
I'll
talking.
watch him live.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Do you want me to go over my team now, Chase?
Yes, go to your team.
All right. So as we discussed earlier with the sad passing of J.K. Dobbins' knee, we're gonna have to I'll take the L on that. I'll take the L personally. But look on the positive side still things. My QB1, Kyler Murray, solid guy. Another guy that's gonna put up passing numbers and running numbers. I love watching him play. It's like a little baby trying to run away without a diaper on. Love watching him run the ball.
That's perfect.
All right, for running back one, it was the second overall pick, and a lot of people might hate on this, but I went with Kamara instead of Dalvin Cook. Just not the biggest Dalvin Cook fan out there.
No hate whatsoever.
Yeah.
Only reason being is I did not select Dalvin Cook because my name is full Chubb. I felt like I had a calling to select Nick Chubb.
All right. I might have to go pick someone up here in a second. But, so my running back 2 was J.K. Dobbins. He's on the bench right now. So we got Damian Harris, we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
New England's running back. He's probably going to be the running back 1, more than likely. And then for our first wide receiver, we got Keenan Allen, the Los Angeles Chargers. Him and Herbert is going to be the same deal this year. This dude, my second wide receiver, it's kind of iffy, to be honest with you. DJ Moore, depending on what quarterback productivity we can get out of Carolina, is going to depend on how his season goes.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got Robert Tonyan from Green Bay. I mean, with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So,
solid tight end.
My flex, I would go with my 216 boy right here, Big Juice, Jarvis Landry.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with Juice. Juice is a solid guy.
That's true. Yep.
Solid guy. He always picks up the little short routes, especially in a PPR league. And, I won't go over my bench, but the one dude I will go over on my bench, we rocking with Baker. QB2. Rocking with Baker.
All right. That's not bad.
Kicker,
That's not bad.
Kicker, we got not bad. Not a bad backup.
Yeah, not bad a backup.
QB, we got Harrison Butker and Jason Myers. So we got 2 solid kickers. Then I got the Packers defense with the Chargers defense. So I had 2 solid defenses.
All right.
So yeah, we're looking good. My name,
Not bad.
no one probably understand with this, but we elect a squad wipe right now. I can show you my little username, my little
Oh
God.
Oh God.
Show you my
Oh God.
what's it called? Profile picture.
Oh shit. I'm not gonna get too much into that. I gotta get something real quick and hey,
there we go. We got the T-posing turtle, bro. Let's go.
Oh my God, I'm weak.
She really ran through the whole team.
She went through the whole team, bro. They got squad wipe.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I'm just glad I'm not on that.
You got squad wipe.
Mike, big Mike, you get the camera over here. You're part of it, Mike.
He's part of it.
He was part of it.
He's part of it. Tosi, our brother, God rest your soul, Tosi. But yes, but yeah, that your team sounds interesting, Jake. Name sounds interesting too.
Hey, we're just in this for fun.
It's
as long
for
as I'm
fun.
not last.
It's all
Mike,
for fun.
no way I'm losing to Mike, bro. That dude would not take Cole Beasley like the 10th round. No, not today. Not today.
You know what? Evan shared his team. I'm not letting Mike share his team at all, dude. That's abysmal. That's abysmal.
No, dude, it's terrible.
Yes,
I'm saying, Mike, we got set something for Mike. Like, make him take the ACT and SAT over again. He'd be losing the league.
At the same time, too, man. Oh
We're
shit.
playing fantasy college football.
He's got to do
Fantasy
that.
college football? That's a thing?
Bro,
That's gonna be a lot. That's a lot. That's
Fan
a lot.
track?
All right, bro. You need to make rules though with like Power 5 guys and non-Power 5 guys.
League starts tomorrow. Game starts tomorrow.
Game starts tomorrow, though.
I don't know how
think
that all
so,
works
boy.
though, but
So I already have the lead.
You got the league already?
he's got a league
Invited.
already.
We'll do the draft tonight. Yeah, invited. We'll do the draft tonight.
Make an account.
I will. I'm
Crap.
doing
Well,
something right now, Mike.
I'll talk
Kind
to
of
you
busy at the
about that.
moment.
All right, my bad.
Yeah, man, all right.
Probably
It's only
Friday.
5 questions. I want to do it tonight.
Well, we can do it tonight, bro. I got nothing else better to do tonight.
It's yeah. Brady,
My
give it away
roommate's
to
not here.
you.
I don't know where Cole's at.
All right.
Give it
So
to your team. I'll be back. Keep talking.
okay, so
All
I
right,
was the
I'm
first.
ready.
No, you're good. I was the first overall pick in the draft. So I took Christian McCaffrey with my first pick, obviously, because safe
Solid.
pick
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
for sure. Yeah, but at quarterback, I got Russell Wilson. So yeah, solid.
Another
Pretty
good
good.
guy. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm always a
obviously,
big Russell Wilson fan.
oh, definitely.
Never go wrong with them. Never can go wrong with them.
Not at all. Yeah, you got Russell Wilson. Then at running back, obviously Christian McCaffrey, and then I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. At receiver, I got Terry McLaurin and Jerry Jeudy. And then at
I got
tight end,
Jerry Jeudy in another league, and I was getting shit on for it. I think he can be a really solid receiver.
he
The
could
right
be.
quarterback.
He really could be. And then I got Dallas Goddard at tight end, which is not great. And then I got Antonio Brown as my flex. I think he could be.
Be a flex.
I think he.
All right. Okay.
What the hell, bro?
And then at kicker, I got Tyler Bass, the Buffalo kicker, and then my defense is the Bills defense. So
Solid. That's solid.
Not
solid.
bad at all. All right. I'm rocking with it.
I am. There's only one guy I do not rock with. I think
He's
he's an all right running back too, but I just don't see Halar. I don't like.
Carson Helaire, Edwards-Helaire.
I don't like him.
Man,
He had a solid season last year,
Yeah, he's
especially with
okay.
the dangerous pass game that Kansas City had. It opens up a lot of
receiving
a lot
running
of
back.
options.
Yeah.
So it's
Definitely
his
does.
PPR.
Oh yeah, PPR though, Ev, on his like receptions and
It should
stuff.
be fine this year. He should be all right this year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to
Rip
finish my
Le'Veon
team
Bell.
because of yes, Rip Le'Veon Bell. He's out of the job. I didn't get to finish my
Him neither.
stuff right here, but
It is
Bishop
awfully
Sycamore quarterback.
sad. The fall off of AB and Le'Veon Bell is so sudden.
For real.
Sign with Bishop Sycamore. Go on ahead and do it. But so I haven't. So the receivers I had, I actually really like my receivers. This is the strength. Allen Robinson, Justin Jefferson. I feel both of those guys are going to have still, pretty good years. Justin Jefferson should have a pretty good sophomore campaign in the NFL.
Bro, you want to hear
got
my dad just texted me?
What do you say?
What do you say?
Said put a hat on.
Put a hat on it.
Craig watching?
Craig must be
Hat,
watching.
man.
Shout out
must be
Craig.
watching.
Big
Shout out
Craig. Mafia
Craig
boss.
2165s. Oh man.
All right, guys. Sorry for interrupting you, Chase.
Nah, all good. But for Big Craig right there, man. That's all good. Oh,
Craig
man.
has a tripod.
Man, but we got Allen
All right,
Robinson, one of the most underrated receivers in the National Football League, has been slept on. He's had some pretty bad quarterbacks over the past, man. I will say, Andy Dalton, obviously this year, Justin Fields going to be that's going to be his ticket,
Oh, for
to
sure.
getting back into relevant. I mean, he's relevant though. Allen Robinson's definitely relevant.
Oh,
just the
for
fact that he's
sure.
had some terrible quarterbacks throwing the ball. Mitch
Bro, what you
Trubisky,
talking about?
Nick
The Nickelodeon
Foles.
most valuable player. What are you talking about?
I know the MVP.
The
man. They had-
MVP.
Oh, the MVP. I know the MVP. We
I
know
think
the
he's pretty good.
the
I
guy
think
who
Mitch
gave him that gave him the MVP. We know them, but I mean, you know how it is. MVP vibes right there. Noah Fant at tight end, I think won't be that bad.
Mitch
He's
had a pretty decent season last year.
Explosive.
good receivers in Denver, but Noah Fant at tight end should be pretty fine. And then I think you said you had DJ Moore. I have Robbie Anderson. So
Yeah,
1A, 1B.
another 1-2. Yeah, 1A.
I
You
forget
got to take
someone.
turns.
Yeah, someone got hurt last year, and I had Robbie Anderson as my
Curtis
flex. He was
Samuel.
actually getting me some. He was getting me. I mean, I'm on my team last year.
Curtis
yeah,
Samuel
but-
did get hurt last year, though.
and he's in
Yeah,
Washington now, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
He's the wide receiver too, behind Terry.
yeah,
With 16 touchdowns
But
and 8 interceptions in 10 games. Wasn't amazing, but he's not an awful. I don't think he's an awful quarterback.
I think his time's probably done as a starter in the league.
Who is it now?
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, yeah.
I think his starting career's
I
over
think
in the
those
league.
days are over right now. I think those days are about done.
Same with
But then
Gardner Minshew.
I had to. Yes, that's true. I had to go out and get my boy Evan McPherson, Legatron. Cincinnati just won his job as a kicker. I do feel as though that he will be a big factor for Cincinnati in games this year. Kicking some 50-yard field goals and getting me some good old 5-pointers and everything. Hopefully, don't use him a whole lot. Mostly on extra points would be nice. And then I have the Colts defense. I think it's going to be kind of rough the first 4 weeks with my defense, considering they play Seattle, Los Angeles Rams, the Titans the first 3 weeks. So we might take a hit there. But
I mean, if
feel
you
confident.
look at last year, though, that's what.
No,
led
they
that
were good
Colts
last
into the
year.
playoffs.
They were good last year. I'm like they were. I mean, it's gonna be tough though against I said the aforementioned teams that I said, but Darius Leonard, quarterback of the defense, I think things overall will be fine when it comes to that. So we kind of gave a look at our teams. We're gonna save the risers and fallers for next week as we do a little bit more of a dive into fantasy football and the NFL. But at this time, I am going to turn things over to Brady as he can kind of give us the big picture of college football right now. You think about it, this is the main course of what we're doing right now. The fall air, beautiful nights, bonfires with friends, everything, dude. Fall is back. Football is back. College football, right up your guys' alley. Brady, take it away.
All righty. So this is my favorite sport is college football, particularly to watch, obviously. I don't think it just doesn't get better for me, at least. But I love all sports, and that's a lot of what I do in my free time. But I don't think it gets better than this. Kicking things off tomorrow. You got a couple. You got Citadel versus Coastal Carolina, Utah versus Weber State, but nobody cares about those compared to the defending national runner-up, Ohio State, who obviously I'm pretty sure all three of us are fans of, take on Minnesota Golden Gophers at Minnesota at 8:00. And so it'll be a good chance to see if Ohio State has a shot at going back to the national title game. But C.J. Stroud takes over for Justin Fields. Justin Fields laid a good foundation for Stroud to hopefully have a great season this year, which I do expect him to. Ohio State has the best wide receiver core in college football this year. I don't think there's really – you got yeah, for sure. You got Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Julian Fleming, Emeka Ibuka, Marvin Harrison Jr. Then the list goes on. It's pretty it's unprecedented, but you've got that obviously. Alabama, Miami, big game. Alabama should win, but you never know. Iowa, Indiana, humongous game for the Big Ten. See who really – one of those teams will be a top 3 team in the Big Ten, in my opinion. I think the winner that wins that game is going to be a top 3 team. And then Wisconsin, Penn State, another big Big Ten game. And then the headliner. You have Georgia, Clemson. And that's one of the biggest regular season games I've ever seen, really. Georgia and Clemson are both top 5 ranked teams. I'm not really going to get into where I would rank them, but they're ranked in the top 5. And you got DJ Uiagalelei versus one of the best D-lines in college football. And you got JT Daniels versus the best D-line in college football, in my opinion. But it all comes down to this one will come down to quarterback play. You got two of the most infamous, everyone knows them type quarterbacks in the country with JT Daniels and DJ Uiagalelei. And it's a humongous game. It really is. Should I give my prediction?
We're gonna save that for just a minute, though.
Okay.
I kind of want to hear your thoughts on the Ohio State game tomorrow and how they're going to win this.
Okay.
And
Okay.
just for a couple of the major games, and then we'll get the picks. We're getting
sure.
picks. We have to.
For sure.
Have to.
So Ohio State's keys to this game are the D line is massive because Minnesota has one of the largest O lines in the country. I think everyone's over 300 on that O line, and I think they have somebody that's like 6'9", 380 or something crazy. But so do we. We have, and so we're gonna need to get penetration because they also have one of the best running backs in the country, Mohamed Ibrahim. Probably the consensus number one running back in the Big Ten for now. And then they have a pretty good passing game with Tanner Morgan coming back. Has started the past couple of years. And that's the biggest key. But obviously, also we're gonna have to move the ball on offense. And I'm sure our O line and wide receivers will do their thing. The only question marks are running back and quarterback for us on offense. And then defensively, our DBs, I think they'll be fine. I don't think anything really scares me from Minnesota. I think our DBs will have a pretty good showing week one. And it's going to be one in the trenches.
Definitely sounds like it should be an interesting game to watch tomorrow on Fox at 8 p.m. Should be broadcasted nationally, but check your local listings for that. A lot of confidence this year in Ohio State. CJ Stroud at quarterback, great receiving core. The running back core is Travion Henderson and Master Teague, I believe. But what do you expect from the offense? What do you like to see from CJ Stroud tomorrow?
Well, what I want to see from CJ Stroud is quick decisions, really. Like, he's a first-year quarterback. Last year, I mean, I'm not going to hit on Justin, but there's times where he took his time, which is fine. He earned his right to take his time and make a big play happen. But CJ Stroud just needs to take his footwork, and he needs to find his receiver and go with it. Because just get it in the receiver's hands. Don't worry about – it's really going to revolve around C.J. Stroud. And I think C.J. Stroud has the talent. He just needs to have the right mindset. And I'm sure Ryan Day's coached him on this. So I want him to get the ball quick and make quick decisions. And don't be scared to throw a pick, because being scared to throw a pick, you're going to throw a pick. Just throw the ball. If you think the receiver's open, throw it. And you asked what I think of the offense. I think it's the best in the country. I think this is the best Ohio State offense that we've had in the last decade.
That's a big, big claim.
It is. And
we'll see tomorrow night. I hope so. I truly hope so.
We will. And it really, quarterback play is a huge, we need to see it.
Yes.
But obviously I expect CJ Stroud to be a really good quarterback, to do his job, because you have a top 5 tight end at the very worst. The number one receiving core, including the nation's probably the top 2 receivers, according to a lot of sources. And then you have arguably the best O-line in the country as well. I mean, the offense, there's no spots where you don't have talent. Everything is solid. Running back, you've got a 5-star freshman. You've got a veteran that got a lot of carries last year. And you got a young gun, Mayan Williams, who's actually expected to be the starter tomorrow. He's going to be a sophomore. Got a couple carries against Clemson. And I think this offense should be ridiculous this year. And that's the ceiling. This team's ceiling on the offensive side of the ball is one of the best ever. And I'm not saying it's, take that with a grain of salt. I'm not making I'm not saying it's going to be the best offense ever in the history of college football, but it has the tools to be one of them. It really does.
When I think of young quarterbacks, when they come into college football, you mostly think that they're going to take some lumps when you get into it. All right.
They will.
It just depends. Like with CJ Stroud, especially with looking at the games that we're playing to start the season off. Minnesota tomorrow, this is on a national stage, then Oregon, another nationally televised game.
That's tough. That's tough to get out of.
That's a very tough one. So your lumps can't be that big. They've got, you got to weather the storm, whatever storm that you're going through. Because obviously there's going to be some tough times, especially as a first time starting quarterback. for a big
Yeah.
team like this. He obviously won the starting job because he's ready. That's the
Oh,
number
by
one thing.
far.
He's ready.
think
He's
that's
ready.
Getting
they said.
getting
Exactly.
that postseason run that they had last year and sitting behind arguably I think was one of the best quarterbacks in college football last
Yes.
year, if not the
Mhm.
best, Justin Fields, and getting to
Yes.
see how to run Ohio State's offense. Because when you're saying that this might be the best, I mean, you look back last year against Clemson in a game that Ohio State wasn't favored in at all.
Exactly.
And they came out and just punched Clemson straight in
Yep,
the mouth.
that's what I'm hoping we capitalize on. I'm hoping that we see that same offense step out in the field, but with a new quarterback.
Most definitely. I think that just seeing them keep off in that same spot or whatever, around that same area, especially with this being a Big Ten game right off of the bat.
On the
will
road
be
at night.
yes, on the road at night. All the
And
stuff is
it's
going
supposed
into
to
play
rain.
with this.
It's supposed to rain. I
Really?
heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
That's what I heard.
All right, so I have to take a
Hopefully
look
it
at the
doesn't,
National Weather
honestly.
Service on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that helps them if it rains.
if it rains, got to run the football a little bit. But
Yeah,
hey,
we'll run
guess
it.
what?
We'll run it right.
Yeah,
in.
we'll
Right
do
on the
whatever. We'll do whatever. That's
field.
why
For sure.
Brady thinks will be the best college football offense this year, which
This year.
isn't.
Yep.
That's not too far fetched. It very well could happen.
Yep.
I just want to watch tomorrow.
Because I think that we
we're
have the
excited.
and my reasoning for that is because I think we have the best wide receiver room in the country, and I think we have the best O-line in the country, and I think that we have a top 3 tight end in the country, and all that together and then quarterback and running back has a humongous quarterback high ceiling, running back room very high ceiling with that committee of running backs. So overall, I think it really could be the best.
Bringing back Master Teague that played a decent role in last year's offense.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah. He's not even going to be the main back, which shows how the other guys are stepping up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's a good point.
A developing quarterback with a great receiving core, running backs that are trying to find their footing with a fantastic offensive line, connections. They keep building on top of each other. There's a lot of hope for Ohio State this year, and lofty expectations, but they very well can meet them.
Yeah.
I kind of want to hop into the 3:30 game on Saturday, featuring the defending national champion Alabama and Bryce Young starting at quarterback, and they're taking on one of the Herbie Award favorites, De'Aaron King. A lot of people like De'Aaron King. How do you feel about him, Brady?
I mean, I definitely like him. I like his play style. I don't think he's a terrible thrower. He's not an amazing thrower, but he's not bad. And then he's one of the best running quarterbacks in the country, if not the best. He's probably the best dual threat quarterback in the country, in my eyes at least. But I mean, I don't think he's very much of an NFL talent because he's 5'11". He's not very tall, and he just tore his ACL, which that could be a problem. It could be. But if he's the same runner he has been, and if his legs are good, I think he could really impose a threat to the Alabama defense. But then I look at Alabama's defense, and I see by far the best linebacker core in the country with Will Anderson, who I think is maybe the best defensive player in the country. That's one of my unpopular opinions. He's an outside edge rushing linebacker. Christian Harris is supposed to be the first linebacker off the board because Will Anderson is only a sophomore. Their other linebacker is probably even better. And then they just got Tennessee transfer, the number 1 transfer in the nation, Henry To'o, as another inside linebacker. So those are their 3 starting linebackers. There's 3 potential first-round picks in these. And so you look at that, and De'Aaron King is going to get spied by somebody good. And then DB-wise, that's Alabama. They had 3 freshmen starting, and they're all coming back. And then they have Josh Jobe, who was actually a junior, could have been a second-round pick, decided to come back. So Alabama's defense is going to be the best defense in the country. When last year they had the best offense in the country. It's going to flip-flop, and their offense is going to still be pretty good, but not even close to last year. Miami will stop them a couple times, whereas the last year Alabama could score every drive.
Yep, flipping the script is seems to be the thing for Alabama this year. championship defense for the Crimson Tide is what it could potentially look like, especially having a young quarterback on the opposite side. A lot of young quarterbacks in college football, especially at the upper crust, talking about Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, even Notre Dame this year, looking at the college football teams and stuff.
The three biggest programs, obviously Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, whatever order you want to put it in, they all three have sophomore quarterbacks that were the top three quarterbacks in the country, exactly the top three, and they all live within 30 minutes of each other in the same class.
It's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
I
Fun
was
storylines to watch right there. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
you got Bryce Young, who's the number one quarterback. DJ Uiagalelei followed him really closely at 2. Those were pretty much interchangeable. Then CJ Stroud was actually like the number 800 player most of his career, and then he won the Elite 11 with ease. And he broke like the accuracy record at the Elite 11 and won it easily and had a great senior season and became a 5-star and like the number 28 player. And so that's how it ended. And now they're the 3 starters.
Speaking of the Elite 11, you guys know there's an Ohio quarterback in that this year?
Who was that?
Who's there?
Shout out Medina quarterback Drew Aller, Penn State commit.
I've heard of him.
I believe I've heard his name before, too.
Yeah. He's I think he's a 5-star now. He was a 4-star. I can look real quick.
That's awesome.
Dude's a tank. Dude is a tank.
Oh, isn't he like 6'5" or something, too?
Yeah, and he's like, I forget what website it was on, but he's now on that website. He was the rated number 1 quarterback in the class.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, now that Quinn Ewers is gone, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was after that.
Yeah.
They've got a very, very good shot at making it deep this year because Medina has been on the upcome in every sport aspect. Because you look 10 or 5 years ago, everyone used to leave Medina, go to Ignatius. I don't know if you guys know Ignatius or Ed. Everyone would leave and go. Then Medina started building its foundation, and now they've got just talent
That's exactly
coming out.
Situation.
Bees are stocking the hive right there.
I wonder if Drew Aller will flip to Ohio State since Quinn Ewers left.
I don't think so.
I think he's.
I don't think he's an Ohio State fan because I'm pretty sure he got offered there. So I don't think he's an Ohio State fan. Okay. And you got to remember, Quinn Evers is going to play in front of him no matter what.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And he's like
the highest rated quarterback in the history of rivals.
Yeah, he is.
So
definitely good stuff to look at. The good state of Ohio, Drew Aller representing right there, going to Penn State though. But
that's probably the best quarterback I can since Braxton Miller out of Ohio, prospect at least wise.
Oh, for sure,
yeah. Because Joe Burrow was not that rated that. I mean, he was rated high, obviously, but like he wasn't like a top 5 quarterback or anything like Drew Aller.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes,
I might go try to watch one of his games this year.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because you live close. Kind of close.
I live. If I go back home, man, I live like 40 minutes if that. So
wow,
definitely got to try that. You definitely got to go look for one of those. And then going to the nightcap. Obviously Clemson, Georgia. Kind of already dove into it
a little bit.
But what do you want to dive a little more into it and see?
I'll dive more into it. I'm cool with that.
Sounds good. Let's hear it.
So they're playing this game in Charlotte. Neutral site game, night time, prime time. Everyone's going to be on their feet, waiting. Watch every single play of this game because if it doesn't come down to the wire, I'll be disappointed because you got 2 very good rosters. One of them chokes every year, and the other one doesn't really choke much. The other one actually does stuff. Clemson's obviously not the one that chokes. Georgia is. I have a little bit of respect for Clemson's program, even though I hate them. But Georgia, I really don't have much respect for the way they do things. But and I'm just being honest. I hope Clemson wins. But do I think they will? Yeah, I do. I think Clemson wins it. Because they just I feel like DJ Uiagalelei is better than JT Daniels, and I think the quarterback position is going to come up huge here. And I also think that Clemson's defensive line will dominate. And Clemson has a very good DB unit. The Clemson's defense looked pitiful against Ohio State last year.
Awful.
But they've got a lot of young stars on that D-line. that will rise up, and their defense is going to be much, much better than it was that game. Their DBs, their whole defense returns. Their whole defense, other than two guys transferring that got their jobs taken from younger guys, which is only a good thing that they're gone because younger, more talented guys are coming up.
Yep.
And then they've got they just Clemson's defense. And then Georgia, their defense is going to be good. I don't think it'll be as good as Clemson's. And then offensively, Georgia has a solid running back, good quarterback, solid O-line for sure. Good tight end with Darnell Washington. I'm not sure if he's going to play because I believe he had a foot injury or something. And then their top three receivers all are not expected to play.
Wow.
So that's a little – they still have some fast guys for sure. They got depth, but
that's true.
George Pickens hurt. Dominic Blaylock is hurt. Eric Gilbert cussed out Kirby Smart. And I don't think he's going to be playing. and so yeah.
Shit, man.
That's not good.
The character issue, like the man, wow. Talk about going into a big game like that, and
I know.
You serve.
I think another thing you have to look at the end of the day is the coaching staff. I'm not a big Dabo Sweeney guy. I think he's kind of a clown.
Agree.
But that dude can win football games. At the end of the day, that dude wins football games, and he's done it consistently recently.
For sure. He develops his players too, because Clemson before now they weren't recruiting well. Obviously now they're recruiting fantastic.
Yeah, before the Deshaun Watson era.
Exactly. They developed their players. 3 stars, and Georgia, they have gimmies. Their state is loaded with talent. They get these guys, and people are like, "Wow, Kirby's such a good recruiter." No, he's not. He's fine, but
you better get some of those guys that are in Georgia. That's ridiculous. It's literally picking a peach off a tree. You have all of these talents of freaking ballers there.
I know.
You're getting that.
It's Georgia. They have
Texas. Like Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Texas can't get anybody.
They can't do anything.
It's like that.
Everybody leaves. Everybody's going to Ohio State or fucking Alabama.
Exactly. Ohio State and Alabama just pick from Texas. And if I'm being honest, they both got Georgia dudes too.
And Florida. You got to remember at the end of the day, they pull in a bunch of Florida guys too. Actually, the only type of Ohio guys that go to Ohio State are offensive linemen.
Exactly.
Offensive linemen. There was a dude from Massillon that went he was a senior last year, so he was in our class. And he's a freshman at Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then from the area, Josh Myers a couple of years ago. He got drafted this year, but from Miamisburg. Yep.
He's the Green Bay. He's Green Bay's starting center right now.
Yes, he is. And him and Aaron Rodgers are gonna be very good friends. But yes.
They will be.
But yeah, like come on, Georgia. I mean, like you guys have all this opportunity down there.
I cannot.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable how they can't do that. I don't know if they're gonna try to prove everybody wrong this year, but starting right off the bat and getting their ass kicked would not be a good taste for the whole entire nation. It'd be funny to watch, but from all the talk that they have, but
yeah,
man, oh man,
they love the fact that they're in the SEC too. Like they don't shut up about Like they can't talk about themselves.
You're literally on the east side. If you're that good, you should always be playing in Atlanta versus Alabama.
I know.
They don't even make it there half the time. Yeah.
Yeah, the East literally has Florida and Georgia. Nobody else. Nobody.
The only reason why I have some type of like for Georgia was from the past with AJ Green. But that's a different story. But yeah, Georgia seems as though they're a pretty annoying fan base. Hopefully none of the viewers that'll see are from Georgia. Actually, if you see this, I'm talking to you. But
if you are,
But yeah, come on. Like
they're calling you out right now.
Yeah, it's time for those guys to step up. Time for Georgia to actually go back to their roots and step up.
Oh, by far, yeah.
What do you say?
Said Ohio State a very hated fan base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everyone hates.
Yes, very. Yeah.
But that means we're doing our job.
State, Alabama fans, yeah.
So I just think it's funny that a bunch of Ohio State fans are hating on Georgia fans and everybody.
Because Georgia sucks, though.
Because Georgia fans,
Ohio State's consistent.
Ohio State fans.
If you look at the history of college football, there's been 2 teams that have been consistently in the top 5 every year, at least in our lifetimes. Let alone before that, it was Ohio State and Alabama. I personally think I'm an Ohio State guy, but I think Alabama's on that next tier. I think that they're they're not untouchable, but they're on like a different.
They're number
level
one
here.
right now. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not really
Right
good.
below them is Ohio State by far, and then
Yeah.
right below Ohio State's Clemson.
Exactly. Which in 2015 and up, Clemson's starting to pick it up, and that's how they've come. They're here. Ohio State's here. Alabama's like here, in my opinion. So, and then
you
Georgia
put
is
schools like you put schools like LSU, Oklahoma, I think
yeah.
a little bit under the Clemson.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then
A little
Notre
bit
Dame.
under the Clemson.
But there's a
Georgia.
good there's a good stack of those teams right there. But
Yeah,
they're
there's like-
obviously
yeah.
there's obviously 3 levels of it. Bama all the way up, and then Ohio State and Clemson.
Clemson,
And
yeah,
then,
I would
Yeah.
probably
like,
put those two on the same level.
yeah. I mean, you
They're on the
can
same.
yeah, you could put it over like, one over the other. I mean, it's tough to say just over the last 5 years or so. But yeah, and then you have that level right here of like LSU.
That drop,
and,
just
Oklahoma.
drop.
There is a drop. There's a
There's a drop.
pretty,
There's a
pretty
considerable
marginal
drop.
drop right there.
And
yeah.
I'd probably put Oklahoma at the 4th spot, but there's a big drop. And then LSU and Notre Dame are on that same
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
same
Mhm.
level.
But they're
I definitely
consistent, but they have their off years where I don't. Besides Ohio State's ban year, where they got in trouble, like
Yeah.
2013,
When we didn't
I
have
think
a coach.
2012.
2011, I
Besides
believe it was.
that, 2011,
Yeah.
they haven't really had an off year since then.
Not
And
No,
before that,
absolutely.
really never happened.
Yeah, and we must be a good team if people think we had an off year since then.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
we have not lost more than 2 games since 2011. And the only time we lost 2 games, it's because one of them was like a playoff game.
Yep, exactly.
And so,
Exactly.
yeah, pretty
Shows that
impressive.
we're getting there. Shows that we're getting there and trying to get the job done and everything.
Yep.
Speaking of our team, Ohio State, I'm going to throw it back to Thursday, tomorrow. Picks right now. I'm going to go ahead and take Ohio State. Score-wise, I think we'll put it up in the low 40s. I'm going to say 41-20. I don't know. I mean, just something marginal like that. 41-20 Ohio State seems all right. I do think it'll be kind of close for a minute. It'll be like a pretty good football game, and then I think CJ Stroud and then we'll find their groove, and I think we're going to instantly, take off
For
with
sure.
it. So 41-20 is my prediction right now. Jake, I'm going to hop it over to you, and then we'll go to Brady, since Brady is our college football guy right now.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the same thing. I think it'll be a little bit closer. You look at Ohio State in the past; they've always gotten off the shaky starts in the season. That was something I will critique on Ohio State. They always start shaky their first week. So I think it'll be a close game for a while, but I think towards the end you'll see kind of an opening. I'm probably go with either like high 30s, low 40s, but I think that my score I'm going to say is probably going to be like 42-27. I think 42-27, 42-33, something like that.
Yeah. And that's still got us in the spread, so that's still a pretty good game because I think we're favored by like 2 touchdowns, which fair enough. But like you said, there's times in the first game of the year where particularly our defense does not look up to par to what it could be. Like last year, Nebraska scored on the 3rd play of the game. I guess.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then we obviously destroyed them, but still, that's not good. And they drove it down the next drive too.
Yep.
But our offense, it might take a second to get going. Like we need to get in our groove, see what CJ Stroud feel a college defense for the first time. Obviously, in practice, he goes up against one of the best, but he needs to feel a real game. And I'm gonna go like 37-14. We play a really good defensive game.
Okay.
Against
that would be very good to see, especially starting the year off.
Oh yeah, because I know our offense what it can do, and I need to see our defense just hold them to 2 touchdowns, hold Mo Ibrahim to low 100s because they're going to give him the ball a lot, and then I want our pass defense to be elite. There's no Rashad Bateman for Minnesota this year to be there out, so they have. Their best receiver is Chris Ottman-Bell, who's been a solid receiver the past 4 years. He's been like a 4-year starter, but he's no Rashad Bateman or Tyler Johnson.
That's true. So, I mean, just seeing the defense come out and especially the first game, trying to get rid of some of those mental errors and mistakes that Ohio State has made in the past and everything. Yeah. Coming out like that, setting the tone, putting the clenching grip on them like that will be huge to see. tomorrow night for sure. Go to the other game that we talked about, Alabama and Miami right now. I'm gonna go Alabama. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say 34-14. I mean, I think I think Miami can do a little bit. I think Derek King can make a couple plays with his legs and everything. A little balance with his arm and legs and stuff. But they're gonna have some stuff that gets Miami excited. But overall, I think Alabama's just gonna take this game and just run with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm just.
All right. Do you want me to go next, Chase?
Yep.
Or?
I mean, any of you guys. Yeah.
All right, I can go.
Yep.
I can go. I think we're going to see the consistent theme of an overhyped Miami University football team that we see every year. Every year we see it. That they always are in the top 10 when they start the season, and they're not in it by week 3.
Yep.
They're not even in ranked week 3. I don't see this game being close. I think Alabama's just going to be on another level that they just won't be able to touch.
For sure.
So I'm gonna go with the final score of 34-7. I don't think they'll be able to touch their offense or their defense.
I'm leaning towards I'm gonna put that 7 mark as perfect. I think they hold Miami to 1 touchdown. And I think it may be late in the game. And I'm sad because I want it to be a good game and I want it to be a classic Miami-Alabama showdown. But I think this Alabama defense is ridiculously good. And people are not over this linebacker core is historic. It's got perfect. You got a middle linebacker. That's maybe the best middle linebacker. You've got an outside linebacker that's probably the best, and then you've got an edge rusher that's like a linebacker hybrid. That's the best of what he does too. And so 7 points is a good number. Not sure when that 7 comes, but they get 7. And then Alabama puts up 40 I'm going to go 42 45.
45-7. Wow.
It's going to be a blowout.
I'm not surprised by it. I wouldn't be surprised by it though.
And and keep in mind, this is in Florida. It can be a dome if it wants to.
That's true.
No, this is in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah.
So it is a dome. It is a dome. I was getting it mixed up like it was in Miami, but
that's true.
So there's no weather because I did in factor into Ohio State's offensive score. I factored in weather, and I don't think Minnesota and Miami. I don't think one's better than the other. So I'm not saying that Alabama's the best team in the country again for sure, but I think they put up 45-ish. They put up in the 40s. Bryce Young gets rolling a little bit. Maybe throws a pick here early, but I think he connects with Mechie a couple times. I think the run game gets going with Brian Robinson, and I think maybe even Jamison Williams, our guy, gets in the end zone.
We'll make a note of that, especially.
I did wish them luck against Miami. Right.
Well, there you go. Always got to be a good sport with those guys
for sure.
Yep, definitely. And then we're going to push it to the nightcap. This is the game that everybody wants to see. And, it's going to be the picks that you're made on College Game Day and everything. So
there will be.
I'm going to go on ahead and start it off. I do think that Clemson will end up getting this victory. I'm going to go with 31-17. I don't know if it's going to be a real blowout or a really close game, but I do think it'll be exciting to watch. But then I think Clemson will make a big play toward the end to really extend the gap. So I think 31-17 is what I'm going to go with as a blind reaction guess.
I'm leaning the same thing. I don't know if it's going to be the highest scoring game. So you have 2 physical athletic teams in mind. So I'm going to lean towards a 24-17 game. I think that's a 17. I think hits the mark with Clemson coming out on top. I think it'll be a good game with 2 young quarterbacks. For
sure. Yeah, I'm actually going to agree that it's going to be a lower scoring game than people want it to be because obviously people want to see touchdowns. But I think both of the defenses will create a lot of stops here. Yeah. And I have to pick Clemson. I'm not picking a team that doesn't have their wide receivers. But Georgia, they still got depth. People think Georgia's going to win. They're so persistent that Georgia's going to win. And I think that's a lot of thinking, oh, this is the mighty SEC Bulldogs. Like, no. Like, it's a bunch
Oh,
of
man.
like I'm gonna go. The score is tough. I'm gonna go like 28-17. It won't be that good. Like, it's gonna be a good game, but like Clemson's never gonna look back. Clemson's gonna have the lead most of the game. JT Daniels is gonna struggle. He's gonna get a lot of pressure. And against Cincinnati, he got pressure, which is kind of pathetic from Georgia's line. But he was bad. I did not like JT Daniels that game. I know he's a solid quarterback when he gets going, but I think DJ connects on. DJ will get pressure too, but I think that he's big. He'll stand in the pocket and he'll deliver a lot more. And I think Clemson just kind of rolls away and beats Georgia 1, and then pretty much locks up their playoff spot because
they're not playing anyone else.
Yeah,
Exactly.
not at all. Not at all.
Exactly.
Good old ACC cakewalk right there.
Do they have Notre Dame on the schedule this year?
They do not, which is
Oh yeah, because I think they went back to
only team.
independent. I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were just ACC for last year. I believe.
Yeah, but I know that they played because they have that contract. They have that contract for basketball. They have to play 4 ACC teams in football.
Yeah.
So they sometimes do end up playing Clemson.
I wish it was Clemson, bro. I really
think
do.
Yeah,
one of the
that would
teams
be another.
That would be awesome. That would be the
For sure.
ratings would be great for that. You know, like last year's ratings were great for that too. But unfortunately, Trevor didn't play in that game. But it was still got saw DJ though, and that was an amazing game to watch.
Well, they played twice last year.
Huh?
They played twice last year.
They did play twice last year. I keep forgetting that. You know, and you know,
DJ put up 20 yards. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, he did. He did. The one on NBC in Notre Dame, that was an awesome game to watch.
That was.
I mean,
and I'm not gonna lie.
The second game, you know, Clemson had their way, but
did.
The first game, that was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, because I think Clemson was without 7 defensive starters the first game.
Yeah, they were.
And so Notre Dame's offense was rolling, but Clemson's offense was also rolling. And in the second game, Clemson's offense was, kind of rolling, and Notre Dame's was just not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Yeah, Clemson was clearly the better team, but yeah.
Yeah, I forget who all the ACC teams that they're playing this year, but I believe they're playing Georgia Tech later in the season, which I might be trying to take that route and go to a game up there. But
they play Toledo this year, don't they?
They do play Toledo. Yes, I think that is next Saturday.
I have to go to that game next Saturday.
Hey, I mean, I'm down for whatever, dude. I'm down for.
You want to go?
Let's look at some tickets afterwards.
All right.
All right, I got to go to the hot tub first after we're done with this, which we are almost done with this right now. First episode of season 2. Gone a little raunchy with my Wi-Fi connections and everything. That's my apologies. We've got everything settled now. So one thing that we're looking forward to. What now? As it froze. Oh, I know it froze. Yeah, but one thing I kind of want to look over is what we're looking forward to this weekend. Like one thing that we're looking forward to see this weekend. I'm gonna start with Jake because it looks like Brady's screen's frozen, but I might be tweaking right now. All right.
Nah, his is frozen. It's coming back.
Okay.
It's coming back. I can start. I can start.
We're gonna be fine. All right, because we're gonna get this stuff down. Jake, what's one thing you want to see this weekend, just in general in the sports world?
In the sports world, I'm gonna take a different turn than what we've talked about this whole podcast. I'm gonna look at the golf world. I'm a big golfer. I'm a big golf fan. And the FedEx Cup Playoff Championship is this weekend. And you look at it in the first. It's weird. It's not normally how you set up. So I can explain this real quick. The better you do during the like a FedEx Cup season, there's like different tournaments that qualify for the FedEx Cup. So like your rankings, it can help in this tournament. So like Patrick Cantley, he starts off 10 under par. So he starts off 2 strokes better than everyone else.
Oh wow!
When he tees off, so it goes Patrick Cantley and Tony Finau are the 1 and 2s. So Finau has an 8 under par. They will tee off at 2 p.m. Thursday. So Thursday, Wednesday, so tomorrow. Then you got 3 and 4 is a really, really solid group. I'm going to watch, and Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm. That's my favorite right now is John Rahm, world number 1.
What time do they?
150. It goes by 10-minute intervals. Yeah, 10-minute intervals.
Okay, I got class. Shoot, but all right.
But I think John Rahm is like I used to say Dustin Johnson, but I think what
All right,
Sorry.
buddy. All right, all right,
I think
all right.
John Rahm is the best golfer in the world at the minute. As soon as he changed from TaylorMade, and I'm a TaylorMade guy myself. As soon as he changed from TaylorMade to Callaway, his game went to the next level because he was already top 5 in the world. This dude's been on fire as of recently, and I would love to see him come out and win another tournament. Because that's who my favorite is, who I want to see come out and win this tournament. The next tee-off group, starting at 4 under par, is Justin Thomas. I'm a big Justin Thomas fan, big Titleist guy that he is. That's who I personally want to win, is Justin Thomas. Because he starts off at 1:40 p.m. teeing off with Cameron Smith, another solid Australian golfer. Some other notable guys that are on the list, Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy, 2 well-known golfers, both tee off at 12:50 p.m. tomorrow. So those are 2 big TaylorMade guys. You got Xander Schauffele after coming off his Olympic gold medal at 12:40.
Okay.
Hideki Matsuyama at 12:20. This year's past Masters champ. The last dude leading us off is Patrick Reed. I hate that guy. He's a cheater. Who else on this list? Yeah, Brooks Koepka at 12:30. Playing with Kevin Na. That could be an interesting group to watch.
Okay.
Morikawa plays with Soonjae Im, so another solid group. I think another solid group is Abraham Ancer and Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth's comeback story got to be one of the best in golf. After choking away the 2016 Masters and having to take the long road in golf, is a very, very mentally strong sport. And having to go through all the struggles he went to get back to where he's at now, he's competitive in golf again at the top tournaments in the world, and that just excites me. But yeah, like I said earlier, my pick to win this tournament is John Rahm. This dude has been playing out of his mind.
You know, especially at this time, right before football starts, and especially like when you see on the championship round on Sunday, golf, I'm gonna have a lot of fun watching this.
It's electric.
It is very electric.
It's very electric. They take this too hard.
Is NBC the one hosting this, right? I think.
Oh.
What for on Sunday?
On Sunday. I can look it up. I know for this week. Yeah, I assume it'd be NBC. It's gonna start off. It's gonna start off. You can watch it on the app. That's what I usually tend to do on the app. But yeah, so I would assume it's NBC. That's usually where you see most PGA stuff, either NBC or Fox.
Actually, I think CBS actually might have it this year.
Maybe I can. Yeah, I'll just look it up.
Well, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, yeah, just look that up if you could, and kind of drop that in. Brady, what's one thing that you are very excited to see this weekend?
So are we going like weekend, or can I count tomorrow?
Count tomorrow. That's fine.
All right, I'm definitely right there. I'm ready for.
I can see the picture earlier. We can see that picture earlier. Yes,
yeah.
Very excited.
I'm ready for. I'm ready to see the 2021 Ohio State.
Oh hell yeah! Gotta see.
Simple as that.
We talked a lot about it already for sure.
Yeah, it's my most anticipated player to watch that is coming out like in their first game since Dwayne Haskins. Like I'm more excited for CJ Stroud opening up than I was Justin Fields. Now, do I think he'll be better than Justin Fields? No, that's not what I'm saying. But for Justin Fields, I had low expectations actually. Yeah, right there. Yes, sir. But
yes, sir.
I had low expectations.
Right there.
Low.
Okay. Because people were not like they were. Ryan Day acted like that was nice, but Ryan Day acted like there was a QB battle between Gunnar and Justin Fields. There clearly was an amazing QB, so I was more excited just to see if he could manage the game, not just literally take it over. But he took it over many times. But now for CJ Stroud, I'm expecting him like I have the expectations I had for Dwayne Haskins, which is to sling the rock around, and we'll see what happens.
Even wearing the big number 7 too. I mean. That's something to live up to, especially when you're slinging the rock like that and you have that good of a receiving core.
I watched the 2018 game. Dwayne Haskins was amazing in that game. He was hitting every single throw. He took the ball 3 steps, he fired it, and it would just hit
I know what you're talking about.
both hands every time.
Yep.
I know what you're talking
Yep.
about.
Yep.
Oh yeah. 412
thing
passing
that-
yards for Dwayne last time.
All right. So one thing that I'd say that I'm very excited to see this weekend, well, I mean, not really see, just excited for the atmosphere. College football's
Sports,
back.
yeah.
Oh,
Saturday, I'm a big NFL fan. Sundays is it's different. As a Bengals fan, there's a resident level of stress that lives in me that comes out week 1. But to watch college football on a Saturday and just to know that the season of all of this is coming back and we're not far away from it.
Not
This
at
is the
all.
season. This is the season of
sure.
of bonfires. This is the season of watching football outside and wearing a
For sure.
sweatshirt at night and everything. Just like
I had to wear a
all the-
sweatshirt to class today. I'm not even gonna lie.
I
It was
know,
cold this morning.
man.
Never had that because you know what? We don't
I
have any
mean-
AC there.
Neither. We don't. Oh, you don't have AC in buildings?
Nah, some of the buildings we don't. Well, one of them went out actually, but like it was bad one time. Bad
That's
one
tough.
day it was. I mean,
That's
we have AC in there, but it shut down when I was wearing a sweatshirt. Shut down when I was wearing a sweatshirt because it was raining outside. But that sucked. But just the whole atmosphere of college football coming back. Definitely got to hit up a game this year, an Ohio State game or something like that. Even a Notre Dame game. Gotta talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, like just Saturdays in general. Saturdays are for the boys. Saturdays are, you're getting up watching College Game Day at 9 a.m., but you get up
Man.
really early because you're very anticipated to watch it like a little kid on Christmas.
okay.
You're watching
Oregon
like you get to see all the guys back on there. Reese, and then you got Kirk Herbstreit on there, everyone's favorite from Ohio State, and then Lee Corso's back. He's back on.
You got an idiot from
you know?
Ohio State and an idiot from Michigan.
And then
2 idiots.
Yes, and then you got
Desmond Howard and Lee-
you got
and,
Desmond Howard, and that's gonna infuriate Evan over there in the back. But
Yeah,
but
he's
yes,
a horrible sports analyst.
just
And
the-
so is Kirk
just
Herbstreit,
the-
don't worry.
yeah, ESPN has a lot of shit analysts. I'm not gonna say it like that. All
They
right,
do.
they got a lot of really bad. They got
They
some
do.
really bad analysts. I'm not gonna. I mean, not really bad. I'm just gonna say like, it's interesting though. Some of their
I
takes
agree.
are a little bold and without homework done. All right.
Not
reasoning.
Hopefully they don't see this in a while, but like, yeah. But just having the whole atmosphere, of Saturdays coming back, it's just gonna be so fun. And then,
I'm hyped.
you go to sleep after a very long day. You wake up from 8 and then you go to bed at like 11 or something like that. And then starting next week, you wake up again and there's more football.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
wake up-
excited for all of it right now. And
Exactly.
I was very, very excited. And, I'm very glad that we got through episode 1 of season 2, man. We
Yes,
did it.
we did.
Yes.
With a lot of disconnection, that's on me down in the basement. Not really good connection down there. We got it settled. We'll be back at it next week. Next Wednesday, September 8th, we're gonna give a NFL preview, a bit more of a deeper dive. Did some college football week 1 recap over some of the games we talked about, some of the interesting games that we didn't talk about. There's gonna be some very good games that we're gonna see on Saturday.
sure that
we
we never
didn't touch
thought
on. We
of.
didn't touch on. We
Yeah.
never thought of. Yeah, all of that stuff. There's an upset. We don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to see one. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, a little fancy focus, but a big NFL special the night before the Dallas Cowboys, America's team led by Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, will be taking on the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady and the squad down in Tampa, Florida. Raymond James Stadium, 9/9/21, 8:30 NBC. Get to see it all.
That's going to be huge.
That's going to be a big game. That's one of the best opening night games, I think, and most anticipated opening night games
Ever.
we've seen ever. Yes, ever. Al, Chris on the call. I'll talk about Al and Chris more next week because those are that's my favorite duo right there. But
For sure.
yes,
For sure.
thank you for all the viewers that are still on, that have been on. This is going to post up to YouTube right away after the broadcast is over, which will be in the next 15 seconds. Jake, thanks for being on. This was a very good first episode. Very good to mention having you on. Brady, my very good co-host of the first season, and thank you for being on and everything.
Hey, no doubt.
Yeah. And we will see you guys next Wednesday. This is Chase Yantz and company signing off.